Let's go.
Oh my God, the quarterback is toast. Hit it again. Hit it again.
Let's go.
Hit it again. Hit it again. Oh my God, the quarterback is toast. Hit it again.
We're going to be hitting it all over the place versus the Eagles. Mike, we're going to get right into it, man. We're you and I kind of talked about this on Twitter about we want to enjoy the win, but we're on to the Eagles. So that's what we're doing here tonight, guys. We are full speed ahead. Eagles, full-blown, rivalry week. Mike, are you ready for this game, bro?
Dude, I've been counting. As soon as the Cowboys beat these Rams, I was like, it's Eagle time. It's Eagle time, all right? Dude, I am pumped up. I am ready for this game.
Yeah, man, I am too. We gotta put it to these guys. That I feel like they're getting full of themselves, beating kind of okay teams here and there. But now it's time to face the Reaper that is Micah Parsons, the beast to beast. Mike, before we talk about Micah, the title says it all. What's the right move here? Is the move to go ahead and get Dak in here, even if he's 75%, or do we want him to be 100% ready before we put him into action? Like, what's the move here versus the Eagles, Mike?
No, Jerry Jones came out today and said that Dak Prescott will throw tomorrow in practice, and what everybody's looking for is a good spin on the ball. All right, a good spin on the ball. And if you can get a good spin, that means he has a good grip. Swelling, bruising, things of that nature will play a big part into that decision-making, whether he's playing or not. I look at it like this, Joe. And I look at everybody watching on Cowboys Blog channel, on Cowboys Corners channel right here. This is how I view this, okay? Cooper Rush is a local bus driver. Dak Prescott is a Greyhound bus driver. They're both game managers. They both do the same thing. One gets paid more than the other, right? And one has to take you to the destination longer. That's Dak Prescott. That's the Greyhound bus driver, right? He's getting paid way too much money, Joe, to sit on the bench. And I'm telling you right now, guys, all Cooper Rush did, if you're happy with that Cooper Rush performance, you should be ashamed of yourself because you've praised Dak for 400 yards, number one offense, this, that, and the third, right? You praise Dak for all this stuff. Cooper Rush does the bare minimum, and you're like, start Cooper Rush. It blows my mind. It really does. And I'm not the biggest Dak fan here, Joe. I'm not. I'm on record. I stay on record. So, Dak Prescott's your starting quarterback. The Greyhound bus driver can take you to multiple places than 100 yards, 10 for 16. He could take you more places than that. Yes, he looked bad against Tampa Bay. He didn't play a preseason game. Their preseason game was up-tempo practices of joint teams like the Broncos and the Chargers. He didn't get any action. So we have to give Dak Prescott a chance. And this is me saying this. There's no controversy. The only way you get a controversy, Joe, is if the Dak Prescott that played in the Chiefs game, the Raiders game, the Broncos game, the Cardinals game, if you get that Dak Prescott, then you have a controversy. Dak knows he has somebody over his shoulder now. Dak Prescott knows room for error is slim. But we can't praise Cooper Rush for 10 for 16 for 100 yards when all he literally did was hand the ball off. You could have done that, Joe. I could have done that. The comment section could have done that. We have to stop this controversy wannabe, and we got to realize Dak Prescott is still better than Cooper Rush.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's a luxury, right, at this point, and it's a really good luxury. Not a lot of teams have a really good number two. We have one now with Cooper Rush. You know, who you talk about? Oh, we need somebody who can win a game or two here in a pinch. Well, the evidence is there. We have him with the right game plan. And shout out to McCarthy and Kellen. You know, I don't give much praise to Kellen, but I think they've game planned him well. But you hit it right on the mark, Mike. The difference between Dak and Cooper Rush, it's still it's still pretty phenomenal, right? So, I mean, we've seen Dak play in some of the biggest games, in the playoffs. Definitely has that capability. What I want to see is if he's in there, I don't want them to go back to week one and get cute. None of this stupid Kellen Moore getting cute plays with the back-to-back reverses and crappy play calling just because Dak is back in there. You know, keep doing what's been winning, but let Dak do his part, which is a little bit of that X factor. You know what I mean? Like more mobile than Cooper, obviously in the pocket. So do some rollouts, do these sorts of things. And get it done, man. But yeah, it is good to have somebody behind your number one. I wouldn't say putting pressure, but that's somebody that could be, there to keep you going at your full potential, and that's what we need out of Dak Prescott, Mike. And I'm hoping that it will be Dak Prescott because the offense needs him. You said it best, Mike. 10 out of 16 for whatever the yardage is, it's just enough, right? But what happens, Mike, if you face an explosive offense and your defense has an off day? Then what happens, right?
Exactly. No, it's 100% accurate, Joe. Like Simus, big shout out to Simus, puts out great content. Simus says, y'all subscribe to him if you haven't already. He goes, y'all are crazy to think there's no controversy. There's no controversy until Dak craps the bed. Like I said, if we see the Dak Prescott that played against the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos, the Cardinals last year, then you have a controversy. But you got to give Dak a chance. He didn't have a preseason like Cooper Rush did, and Cooper Rush looked like crap in the preseason, right? So he didn't have a preseason. Dak didn't. So he has to be able to do. We've seen that Cooper Rush can get the ball to Noah Brown, can get the ball to CeeDee Lamb. He can do these things, right? I haven't heard anything from Simi Fehoko. Can he elevate Simi Fehoko? I haven't heard anything about Turpin, and I'm not talking about special team side. I'm talking about wide receiver side, right? So he has, and Michael Gallup's coming along, right? So yes, he has connection with Noah Brown. Simi Fehoko, he doesn't. Bring Dak Prescott in here. He's going to throw the ball to Fehoko. He's going to spread the ball around just a little bit more. Fehoko hasn't really been in the game, so that's unfair to say. But he has to create the opportunities for these other wide receivers, right? Because one of them could go down. Michael Gallup's coming off an ACL. CeeDee Lamb gets tackled odd ways. I mean, he almost hurt his knee just a couple of weeks ago. That was an odd tackle, right? So you have to be able to distribute. I trust Dak a little bit more to get these people the ball. Well, Dak didn't do it. No, Noah Brown was a fifth-string wide receiver. He was sitting behind Amari Cooper, Cedric Wilson, Michael Gallup. He was sitting behind a lot of players, right? So Dak didn't get to build that chemistry with Noah Brown. So let's give Dak a chance here, Joe. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, he does have to have that grip. Like you said, Jerry said he's got to be able to spin that ball. If he hits all the check boxes, let's rock and roll. One thing for sure from this game, whoever the quarterback is from the Cowboys or Philadelphia, one of them is going to come crashing down to reality. You know what I mean? Because the Eagles are flying high right now. They've been beating all these teams. They've had a couple close games here. But, Mike, let's get to the next subject here. They have not faced a championship defense. Yes, and I am saying championship defense because this is a defense we have not seen in decades. They do. Jalen Hurts has not seen a defense like this, Mike. What is going to happen to Jalen Hurts in this game?
It's not going to be pretty, Joe. Listen, we screaming for we need safeties. We need safeties. Oh, we got to go get Earl Thomas. Oh, we got to go get this guy.
Yeah.
Donovan Wilson. When J-Ron, I was like, who the hell is J-Ron Curse, right? And then they went and got Malik Hooker, which I wasn't like open arms welcoming Malik Hooker. I was like, let's see if he can stay healthy. That was my mindset. It's all working out, Joe. We talked about we need Baconators, right? Quentin Bohanna, Oso Digizua, Dante Fowler's coming around. When everybody was like, oh my God, we're third week free agency signing. They're proving that we didn't need to do it, Joe. And you gave props where props is due with Mike McCarthy, right? I always crap the bed with them about not being able to motivate men, right? Mm-hmm. The way he did with this football team, with everybody, all ears were open to hearing season's doomed, season over. Mike McCarthy got this team together, lit a fire under Kellen Moore's butt. Remember that? He has to be a better play caller. Remember that? Yeah. He got everybody, boom, and won. So big shout out to Mike. But the Jalen Hurts thing, he's going to HURT that Monday morning. That's what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, no, for real. The back of that jersey is going to be what he's going to be feeling, because this defense can bring it from anywhere. They can bring it from the middle. They can bring it from the linebackers, the edge, even safeties. Mike, Micah Parsons, man. He's just setting an example here, right? He's questionable, but I know he's going to be in the game. DeMarcus Lawrence's list is questionable. Both of them have been saying that they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready for this game. They know that this is a huge game. It's for first place, for the division, and that's a big thing. Dallas does not want to relinquish, last year's title. We are the defending division champs, and we need to go out here and slap these guys around up and down the field, and where this team goes where the defense goes.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's Cooper or Dak, I think that McCarthy said it, that before the season started, they talked about that this team was going to be a defensive team, and the success was going to go through the defense, which I thought was pretty cool, right? But offense needs to catch up, man. But, man, this defense is doing some special things, Mike. Outside of Micah, who are you really proud of, as far as like your defenders? Who's really
Donovan Wilson all day long, Joe.
Yes.
I mean, we talked about him, possibly not making the roster. We had him on the roster, but hey, is he going to make this thing? Marquise Bell's looking pretty nice over there. He had a pretty good preseason. What's Donovan Wilson going to do? Yeah. J-Ron Curse got hurt, and we were able to see, Joe, what Wilson was able to do. And I really feel like that Daniel Jones got to run on this defense freewillingly. Dan Quinn said, no, we're going to use Donovan Wilson. We're going to spy you with Donovan Wilson, Daniel Jones. You want to keep running? We got that taken care of. Because why? Wilson can play in the box. So if Daniel Jones don't run, he can still play like a linebacker, right? So it's a beautiful thing what Dan Quinn's doing with Wilson here. But Jalen Hurts, I think out the gate is going to be spied. He has almost 300 yards rushing. Okay, his passing, he has 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A.J. Brown, that big-time wide receiver in 5 games, has 1 touchdown, all right? Their defense, Slay and Bradbury, who they got from the Giants, they got 2 picks apiece, right? So the offense is going to have their hands full with Hassan Reddick, who has 4.5 sacks, and some other guys like Sweat, who has, I think, 2.5 sacks, something like that. So the offensive line has to have really good communication there in Philly, right? So I'm looking at the Eagles offense. They don't scare me. They really, I'm really surprised they're still 5-0. But the difference is they have 9 takeaways. Eagles defense has 9 takeaways. All right. So that's where they're getting lucky. All right. They got lucky last week of not forcing overtime on a missed field goal kick. Their time is coming, Joe. We put a big fat 1 for the Giants. We're going to put a big fat 1 for the Eagles.
Yeah, man. I know I'm excited to see what the defense does, and I think they're going to do what they've been doing. They're just getting a lot more confidence with each game that they get under their belt here. We saw Dan Quinn in the at the end of the game greeting his players after the win. They love playing for this guy. The coaching matters, right? This defense would not be where it's at if we still had Mike Nolan. We wouldn't be this good even if we still had Marinelli. Dan Quinn is a special kind of coordinator, man, and he's got good talent here, and he's able to elevate a lot of the players. Tristan Hill, right? Thought his career was dead in the water. He has resurrected Tristan Hill like Lazarus, bro. I mean, he's out here making plays in the backfield, collapsing the pocket, playing the run. Tristan Hill is one of those guys. When we talk about, who I'm really proud of is, and he's one of them too.
That's a good
Donovan
one.
Wilson. I like the way LVE's been playing. I like our linebacker cores. The secondary is playing phenomenal. Diggs is getting his picks. You know what I mean? So, and you said, Fowler, right?
Yeah,
We didn't
Dante
see much.
Fowler.
I mean, he was one that we didn't see much in the preseason. He was
No.
kind of a fringe guy. Like, is he really going to make the team? Well, once he got a taste of the blood in the water, he's been bringing a lot of pressure here lately, and I do love that indeed because they're bringing a lot of pressure. And I say this all the time to you, Mike, and offline as far as OU quarterbacks don't scare me, man. They don't. They
You said
haven't
that
done
offline.
they haven't done much in this league, and they're a little bit overrated to me, in my honest, humble opinion. And I think the Cowboys are going to bring a big serving of humble pie to Jalen Hurts and those Eagles. We're going to stuff it down their throats, Mike.
No, that's why I'm wearing not only then Trayvon Diggs. All right, you want to see the problem with Diggs, and I had somebody come up to me and say, "Oh, Diggs got beat," and he's a Cowboys fan. I said, you know what? If you're gonna hate on Diggs for taking the chances, don't hate on Diggs when he takes those chances and win. You have to ride the highs and you have to ride the lows. All right. So with Diggs, man, I'm telling you right now, this guy, he knows Jalen Hurts very well. He knows Devin Smith very well. We've seen that last year. All right.
Yeah.
Diggs is gonna have another monster game against these guys. Donovan Wilson's gonna have a monster game. The D line's gonna have a monster game. I honestly think they've been sacked like 17 times. Jalen Hurts already been sacked 17 times. We're gonna up that number, Joe. He's gonna be sacked about 22 times by the time this game's over with. All right.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be sacked. And let's talk a little bit more about Donovan Wilson, Mike. You made a good point, and we talked about this offline as well. Daniel Jones kind of got rolling, and then Dan Quinn said, "Okay, enough of this. We're putting Wilson on you." Right. Last time we talked, Mike, we talked about, Donovan Wilson, he's still going to have packages and he's going to be in there. Well, that didn't happen, right? He didn't really show up until the fourth quarter where he got some plays when they needed to clamp down, right? So, Mike, I'm going to ask you here, versus the Eagles, is this going to be the same game plan with Donovan Wilson that they did with the Giants, where maybe they see if they can get away with not using Donovan Wilson as a spy in the first half? Or do they put him out there immediately to clamp him down?
No, I think they're going to see how the game plays out, right? Can the defense set the edge? As long as the defense can set the edge. What happened with Daniel Jones, Joe, if you go back and watch the tape, the 1 tech and the 3 techs, they were trying to do the pulls to help people get sacks. And it left big holes in the opens. The middle just kind of departed like Moses in the Red Sea, and Daniel Jones able to go. So as long as they keep their gap assignments and just play traditional, go get the quarterback, go. One-on-one, go, right? That and you could contain Jalen Hurts in that pocket where he has to be a better quarterback, which we know he can't do it, right? So as long as you contain him in that pocket, outside containment, right? That's Pee-wee football mentality, outside containment, right? Don't break your edge. As long as the defense can do that, Donovan Wilson can go play and be that thumper that we need him to be instead of babysitting Jalen Hurts. So I think that they're going to try to do that outside containment first. And then if Jalen Hurts starts being stupid and wants to run out of the pockets, then you're going to see Donovan Wilson come in. Then Quinn's going to adjust, and he's going to adjust accordingly.
I agree 100%, Mike. I agree 1,000%. I think that's exactly what they're going to do, right? If they start getting gashed, bring in the enforcer, bring in the playmaker, right? And this is nothing against Jaron Curse, right? Not at all. I think Jaron Curse is going to have a huge part in this game covering the tight end, right? Goddard is Hurts. One of the three big weapons is Goddard. So Jaron Curse should have a big game here as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how the game plan. It's going to be a chess match, and I feel a lot better about Dan Quinn out here playing chess versus their offensive coordinator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel good about this defense just doing something monstrous. I have a feeling that they're out to prove. They have this out to prove mentality, right? Like we're nobody's
underdog.
And again, here we are. What is it? 5.5 again with the crap. Like, hey man, if I was on a team, I would be like, hey man, screw that. Let's punch these guys in the mouth. Let's show them what the heck we're about. You know what I mean? And I feel like this group of dogs that we have in place now, Mike, we don't have these Boy Scouts here. You've got edgy players, right? All over this team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel that edge with Dan Quinn being the big ringleader is really getting the best out of literally every single one of these guys.
No, I think you're 100% right. I think we're nobody's underdog. Tank Lawrence been on this team long enough. He got to experience the Des catch, no catch. He got to experience the Rams running it down our throats. He got to experience so much stuff. And on top of that, knowing that he's toward the end of his career, he got to experience what a pay cut's like, right? So he knows that his time's almost up and he wants to win. I wish Micah Parsons is our leader, but I think Tank is really, really taking up some responsibility of that leadership. I'm seeing more out of Tank Lawrence, right? So you get Micah Parsons, who leads by example, Tank, who's leading by example, Jaron Curse, who leads by example, Wilson. You get all these guys, they start holding themselves in this little cube. And as soon as you do something, you get 2 cubes. And by the end of the game, who has the highest cube, right? It's usually Micah Parsons, but everybody's trying to outmatch everybody's performance, but still do their job and not trying to overproduce, right? So it's really great competition. It's really great mentality. This defense, you called it Super Bowl caliber defense. You're damn right. It's Super Bowl caliber defense.
It really, really is. I mean, we're not letting people score touchdowns. You know what I mean?
Nope.
This is no longer bend, don't break. This is we're gonna dictate this game. We're gonna get takeaways. We're gonna do 3 and outs. We're gonna lead. We're gonna stop you to field goals. You know what I mean? We're gonna help this offense out. You know what I mean? Because it needs it, right? I mean, a big shout out to where this coaching staff is at right now, because I mean, even special teams, I think has played better. All of a sudden, Kelvin Joseph has become, I think he's found his niche on the team right now. He's a special teams ace now, out here making plays.
Talked about that last time.
Yeah, I mean that's you need guys like that. You know what I mean? I don't care that Kelvin Joseph is not out here beating out, Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown is doing his thing. He's doing good. He's doing really damn good. I like where Kelvin Joseph is at as one of these gunners and making plays on special teams. Without him, maybe these returns, are bigger than what they are. So everybody is doing a phenomenal job here. Money Maher making field goals left and right, kicking 50-yarders left and right. I mean, I just feel that if we get Dak in here, Mike, that I think that there will be a little bit of rust there. But I think as the season progresses, along with your rookie left tackle, we're going to be in the mix. I have no doubts that we're going to be in the mix. It's whether or not we're going to be number 1 or 2, but we're going to make a pretty good run here for a playoff spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I really think like the odds, Cowboys are 4-1. The odds of us going to the playoffs. What did I say, Joe? I said we need at least 11 wins to get into the playoffs. And I think you look at the NFC, I still think 10-11. I think there might be a 10-win team that doesn't make it because of implications of ties and breaks and this, that, and the third, right? So 11 wins really gets you into the playoffs. And I really think, looking at this stretch of the schedule, I think we can get that. I honestly do. It's just a matter of, can we stay healthy on the defense side of the ball? Can the offense get momentum and score? Whenever you get a block punt, Joe, and you're on the 30-yard line, on their 30-yard line, and you have to settle for a field goal, that stuff ain't going to win you ball games when you get deeper into this playoff season. If you have to get to those 9, 10 to 11 wins, it's going to hurt you, because defense is going to get a little hurt. Defense is going to get a little tired. Bruises start happening, things of that nature. So we have to be able to capitalize on those big plays, and Dak can get us there. I'm not the biggest Dak fan, but I have more confidence. I always said this, Joe. Is Dak better than Tony Romo? No. So why settle for a lesser of a quarterback? Is Dak Prescott better than Cooper Rush? Yes. So let's not settle for a lesser quarterback. It's the same thing. Right? Mm-hmm. Tony Romo's long gone. Is Dak Prescott's our guy? Yes, he's better than Cooper Rush. That's who you got to go with.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you do have, I said that, and when I was watching the game, I was like, you can't get away with just getting out three damn points off a block punt. You got to flip that into a touchdown and really punch these guys in the face. So, yeah, man, I'm with you 100%, dude. I legit was saying that, screaming off the top of my head, pissed off. Like, I'll take the 3 points, man. But come on, man. Let's let's punch it in, bro. Like, that's the one thing that continues to hound Kellen Moore and then some of these play calls, man. It's like, the red zone. Now, in some of these games, it's pre-red zone. Like, man, we can't even get to the red zone. Now we're getting kind of stagnant here on the 30-yard line, kicking all these field goals. So that's where I'm hoping the difference will be, and I think it will be. Once we get Dak back in here, he will get us past the pre-red zone, issues that we've been having. Mike, offensively speaking, let's talk a little bit about, how are you feeling about, the wide receiver core? There's rumors here that the Carolina Panthers might do a fire sale. Should the Cowboys be interested in trading for DJ Moore or any other wide receiver to add a little bit more juice to this offense?
I'm going to sound like Stephen Jones here. Player acquisition is 365 days a year. We're always looking to upgrade our roster, and we're going to be looking at every opportunity that's best for this team and this and the salary cap and the pie. So we're going to be doing our due diligence and talking about them players.
Yeah, I think it's something that they definitely should be talking about, and that's a great impression. They definitely should be, thinking about something like this, right? For the right price. If they're asking for one for DJ Moore, I don't know that I would want to do that. But if you can get away with a second or a third or something like that, yeah, man, I might think about something like that. But outside of some sort of trade for a wide receiver, how are you feeling about, Dak Prescott's weapons? Let's say Dak does come back this week. How do you feel these receivers are with Dak Prescott back in the game? Do you feel like he's got more weapons now that he's going to be able to get the ball deeper down the field, or do you think it's going to be the same old kind of, thing?
I'm going to say this. It's going to be the same old thing, because Dak and CD can't get on the same page. They just can't. Let's say that right now, and let's have confidence in saying that. Dak and CD can't get on the same page. Dak has to be able to get on the same page with CD Lamb, and CD Lamb has to do that with Dak Prescott. Noah Brown, I know you don't have a lot of targets from Dak. You got to step up and adjust to Dak Prescott's footballs too, right? So as long as Dak can deliver a good football, they have to be able to catch it. CD Lamb, Dak, I don't know what it is. They're notorious for dropping footballs, right? So, and Dak is notorious for underthrowing and overthrowing this, that, and the third, right? So Dak has to come in here, set the tone early, throw accurate balls, and they have to catch them. What we saw against Tampa Bay, I don't know if you're going to see that duplication again. That's really hard to duplicate how sorry and awful that game was on offense. But Tyler Smith, that left side, he's not a rookie anymore. Or he's still a rookie, but he got a lot of belts underneath his – he's not a rookie being in the first game, right? So he has multiple games. McGovern ain't looking too bad there at that left side, all right? Let's just call it what it is.
Yep.
So Dak has to be able to feel what's in front of him and be comfortable with that 5 offensive linemen, right? So, and he has to deliver those good balls. And can Dak do it? I don't know. Have we seen him do it before with Cedric Wilson and these guys? Sometimes, but it's up to Dak to start doing this. I don't know if Dak comes back. If, like I said, they're the same player. One's a local bus driver, one's a Greyhound driver, and they have to do the same thing. But Dak can, if you get Dak in play action, you'll like the Dak Prescott a lot better than what you didn't like in week 1.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes, how the reaction from the fan base will be. But it's gonna be one of those games where, it's gonna be a classic Cowboys game where it might start off kind of iffy, but then the offense gets rolling here once they kind of figure some things out, and then the defense, does their thing. To me, I think it's gonna be one of those type of games. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by either team. It's probably going to be one of these type of final possession type of games, unless the defense really gets after, Jalen Hurts and gets in his head, which we've seen teams do that to Jalen Hurts before. You know what I mean? They can get in his head. If he's gotten dinged up as well during his career. Miles Sanders, their running back, he's brittle. You hit him a couple times here and here. We've been tackling players through the ground, right? You want to see that. You want to see a tackle where you're hitting the player through the ground, through the whistle. This defense is doing that. They're playing physical ball, and that's a disaster for a Miles Sanders running back. Will he hold off? You know what I mean? So I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see the Cowboys just remind these Eagles, who this team is. You know what I mean? It feels like we're getting a really good identity here now. We're a defensive team, and I think McCarthy and the assistants have done a phenomenal job to be 4-1 without Dak Prescott. I think that says a lot about coaching, because coaching matters, man.
It does. It's a big step, Joe. Like I said, Mike McCarthy lighting the flame under Kellen Moore. Cooper Rush film studying while players are watching a baseball game. There's just big differences in preparation that you're seeing here. And Cooper Rush is taking the opportunity because he wants to get paid somewhere. He don't want to be a backup forever. So will a team, Joe, budge on Cooper Rush next year? Big possibility.
I think Jerry will pay a little bit of that money too. I mean, we saw what he did, a couple years ago. I was saying that he'll pay $10 million a year for a quarter backup. I think it was Kyle Orton. I think it was, right. He could get some money here. You know what I mean? Super chat here. Haley 94 where? Thank you. I want Rush to start at Philly, especially if Dak has any questions with his hand. The sweet part would be Rush winning in Lincoln. That loss will slap in Philly's face. Heard across the NFL. It sure would. You know what I mean? It sure would. And I'm with you. Dak definitely has to I think he has to be in really good shape here for the hand. You know what I mean? Mike?
No, I said this before. I'm going to say this again. Give me the best guy that you think can win the ball game. Give me the best guy. If you think Dak gives the best chance to win this ball game, and his hand's okay and can play and he can throw a good spiral, which they're looking at, they're going to be looking at tomorrow, then give me Dak Prescott. If they think Dak needs another week or Dak can't win us this ball game, they want to play Cooper Rush, then give me Cooper Rush. Why, Joe? Because I'm all about this star and not the name on the back of the jersey. Give me the best player for the job.
And the thing about it, too, is the Cowboys, we now know as a fan base, and the Cowboys know as an organization, you have that backup player that can come in and win you a game. Let's say Dak Prescott does start this game. What if? I mean, this game is very physical, right? What if he hits his hand on the helmet again, or maybe falls? Maybe he tries to break a fall, lands on it weird, the soreness comes back, or whatever, right? Maybe he gets aggravated. At least you have Cooper. Hey man, we're actually going to need you to come back here and drive this game, win this game for us. So Either way, man, I feel good about the Cowboys going into this game. I really do. Whether it's Cooper or Dak, I still feel that the defense has got to set the tone, and I think they will, Mike.
No, the defense is going to set the tone. You hit it right on the head, Joe. The defense is definitely our identity. And we go as Micah Parsons, Tank, J-Ron Curse, and all these other guys go, right? I mean, we won a ball game with the quarterback going 10 for 16 for 100 yards. Like, our defense did that, all right? And so 20 points. 20 points, the magic number. Can we get to 20 points under Cooper Rush in Philly against Darius Slay, against Bradbury, against Reddick, against Sweat, right? The offense is going to have their cards, and, you know, it's going to be hard to play some cards against this Eagles defense. Our defense against theirs, it's almost the same thing, but our defense is a lot better. Let's just be real. No homer. Just look at the stats. They'll tell you. Look at the tape. They'll tell you. So I really think that, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think our defense and our special teams is going to have to put points on the board for us again, because Bradbury looks like he found the team in Philadelphia. We all know who Darius Slay is, and their front seven isn't nobody to play with, right? So it's going to be a physical game. Someone said no interceptions in the chat. We definitely can't have that. Low-scoring game. I swear it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm thinking 13-17 Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. 20 is probably the magic number with either quarterback, to be honest, because I think the defense will do their part to help out and get that victory, a turnover, a takeaway, something of that nature. Haley 94, we appreciate that super chat. Great comment there. Appreciate that. All love there. So, yeah, Mike. This is going to be another one of these statement type of games. I think the Cowboys wanted to make a statement versus the Rams. They owned us. You know, we couldn't get over that hump against the Rams. Finally, we went into their house there, and we beat them up. So I feel like this is another statement game. You got to win in your division. The path to the playoffs is the division crown. So get this win. You know what I mean, Mike?
Yeah.
But guys, let us know in the chat box. Are the Cowboys going to win this, you know, with Cooper or with Dak? Does it matter to you which quarterback it is? Do the Cowboys win with whatever quarterback is in here? Do the Cowboys win this game? Yes or no in the chat box. Let me know. Mike, let me know as well. Do the Cowboys win this game with whichever quarterback is in there?
Absolutely. The Eagles' offense don't scare me. They don't. Jalen Hurts, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A.J. Brown, 1 touchdown. Really, like, come on, guys. Their offense don't scare me. Their defense just a little better. Cowboys winning this game because our defense is better than their defense. Our special teams is better than their special teams.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm with you on that too, Mike. I think the defense is just at another level right now. Like, you can have somebody that can do just enough right now, and maybe Dak coming back, he'll be a little rusty, and so maybe, you know, you do have to have a little bit of a, you know, type of game like this where you need to rely on the defense, which is fine because the team has been relying on this defense, you know, for a couple of weeks now. You know, they know what they got to do, and they're doing it, bro. They're doing it. Clark Kent here with the super chat. Let's see what we got here. We need a T2
tight end.
We need a tight end to open the field more, bro. Get those safeties adjusting, and also Damone Clark going to be scary. Your thoughts? Yeah, man. The tight ends are young right now. Dalton Schultz, he's, you know, beat up here. I think they're gonna let him walk. I said this in Twitter, Mike. Give me Pollard over Schultz. You know, if you got to give me a player to extend or to keep for next season, give me Pollard over Schultz because, yeah, we got young tight ends here. You kind of have a little bit of a clone here with Ferguson. Hendershot just needs to clean up the bonehead penalties, but other than that, I think the tight end room is good. And Damone Clark, I still think he's going to be redshirted. I don't think that he'll get on the field this year. I mean, we're still waiting for Jabril the Steel Cox to get on the field, right? So I think that next year is probably when you're going to see a bigger impact from Jabril probably and Damone Clark for sure, Mike. What's your thoughts on this? Great question. Clark, can't appreciate that super chat.
No, I think he hit it right on the head with the tight ends, right? Just open up another weapon for Cooper Rush or Dak Prescott in the tight end spot. You know, you seen what Jarwin was able to do against an NFC rival, an NFC East rival. You've seen what Schultz done against NFC rivals. So it's only smart to get you a tight end that can help. Just add another weapon, right? We've been talking about Noah Brown and CeeDee Lamb and yada, right? Let's talk about somebody else, Hendershot. Let's talk about McEwen, right? Give me some of these guys that can play some football. And great point there. Get those safeties adjusting, yes, to the tight ends, right? Because that's just going to open more things up for you. Damone Clark, Joe hit it on the head about Jabril the Steel Cox not being able to see the field. He's a red shirt guy. We won't see him until next year.
Yeah, and a little bit further to his point, Dak, I think the player that's going to benefit the most from Dak Prescott coming back is probably going to be Schultz. You know what I mean? I thought that Cooper would be able to utilize Schultz a little bit more, although he has missed time during this time span. But Dak and Schultz, they have probably the best chemistry from all the receivers, whether it's a receiving tight end or even CeeDee Lamb. I think Dak has his best rapport is with Dalton Schultz. So that's going to help him out. Great super chat there. Appreciate that, Clark Kent. Let's see what else we got here in the chat box. Yeah, man. So that's going to be about it tonight, guys. We started a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties. So, guys, man, you guys really showed out tonight in the chat box watching us live. Do appreciate that. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you before we cut out tonight, bro.
Oh, I can't wait for these birds, baby. Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube _Cowboys Corner on the Twitters, guys. I'm almost at 500 followers. I can't believe it. So if you guys have Twitter, y'all want to follow Cowboys Corner, yeah, I'm a little bipolar on there. You know what I'm saying when it comes to our Cowboys. But if you want to laugh, Cowboys Corner on Twitter, guys. Give me a follow. I follow you back. I'm almost there to 500, so that's pretty cool. Thank you, guys. And then right here, Cowboys Corner on YouTube. I'm on the road to 4,000 subscribers. I'm on the road to 4,000, so that's also exciting. So we're hitting some milestones. We're hitting some milestones, Joe.
Let's get Mike to that milestone, guys. If you haven't hit Mike's channel up, please do. Great. I mean, that's why he's my co-host, man. We keep it legit here, and I only work with guys that keep it legit. You know, Mike is one of those, and Foots as well. You know, we keep it real here, and a couple of other guys, obviously too many to name. But guys, thanks for stopping by. We do appreciate that, and we'll catch you hopefully talking about a win for next week. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.